I don't know where everybody's texting me. I don't know where Jim is. I texted him. I'm recording right now. Oh, look, Joan is on. He did not answer me, so I just hopped on as him and started the meeting. Hi, Will, anybody who may be here. Not,
Hi.
but I'm used to the panel function. I hope he's okay. So, yeah, it's on. Let's see who else hops on.
Can you see me, Cass? Okay. All right, Tom, thank you. You should turn it completely off so you don't interfere it.
Can you tell I just finished the wedding?
Oh, really?
Like literally just finished the wedding?
I was very worried about you. I said,
Hurry
where's
up
the
and say
host?
I do. We have business to get to.
Where's the host? Just, yeah, are you sure? Do it. Say
Actually, the wedding, the bride, I mean, obviously they live in town, but the bride was born in St. Petersburg, Russia. She's from Russia. And her dad was on from Russia.
Wow.
Friend of theirs, British Columbia. It was really pretty cool. And they drove down, they were sitting on the beach. The bride and groom were sitting on the beach in Strathmere.
Cool. Times are changing.
Remember the year that Bud married like 20 couples from Liberia?
Yeah, I do. I sure do.
They were all seriously in love, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. I think that was there may have been other reasons in those days.
Married at first
Although I
sight.
see everybody's joining. Hal, did you ship you're muted, Hal.
So you didn't get my note that I said put Hillary Roof on this list.
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it as we get to it here. This is an executive committee that's getting set up that's going to expand out.
I did send out a draft and I updated the website.
No, I was looking for the open public meetings.
Oh, Sunshine? No, I'm sorry.
I'll improvise. Don't worry, I'll improvise.
Got your flag?
Okay, for folks that are joining us on Zoom, participants out there, we'll get through business. A couple spots I'll open up for your participation. The process will be just there's a button where you can raise your hand on it, and that's a way for you to participate in. We can start with. Oh, I should really put the flag in a better place, huh? There we go. Okay, I'm going to call this meeting of the Collingswood Borough Commission to order. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, let me just, the open public meetings, this is one of the regularly scheduled meetings of the Borough Commission. Proper notice was provided and the list of meetings is posted in the Borough Hall prior to the end of January of this year. This is one of the regular meetings listed in those notices. Before we get to the business, I just want to, we've had, within the Borough family, the extended Borough family, it's been a difficult month. We have had 3 of our former police chiefs pass away in the last month. Chief Fred Bueller, who was the chief of Collingswood from 1974 to 1982. I got to know Chief Bueller, didn't serve with him, but got to know him. Chief Condon, who served as chief from 1982 until 1989, and Al Profico, who served from 1989 to 1992. I did have the good fortune of working with Condon and Profico they were great guys, and all of them. I got to know Fred Bueller later. Fred was in his mid-90s when he passed. We extend all our best to their families. I had a chance to talk to all their families, and we note their passing. And if we could just pause for a moment of silence before we move forward. Okay, thank you all. Okay, and then the other, not the same somber, but still a sad thing we'll talk about a little bit later, but today is Keith Hastings' last full day of work at the Collingswood Borough. I just want to note it at the outset, so all those people that we have set up to ask the really hard questions of the administrator today know that they can be ready to do that. But let me just be first. Keith, Keith has been with us for what we said, almost 35 years, right? Just a little shy of 35. Started as a leaf raker. I remember he started as the water meter reader, moved through all the different positions. As he was saying to us earlier today, he has pretty much been to every household in Collingswood during his 35 years in one of his jobs. We wish him the best. We hope that he has a great retirement. God knows the administrators that have retired have gone on to, absolutely enjoy themselves and be in wonderful positions. So whatever you end up in, we wish you the best, and thank you for all your help through all these years.
Thank you.
Joan, Rob, you want to say anything? We can talk later as well, but if you want to say anything to start out.
Well, just one line saying that Keith has the knack to always be there. Like no matter what event is going on, you can look for him and he is right there helping and on the mark with everything. So he's not a guy who's just in the office. He's everywhere doing everything and being so supportive. And I'm so grateful and wish him the best.
Do I have to say something?
No.
No,
Wait. Can we mark that in the record that Lewandowski offered to not speak?
impeach. As sort of the relatively new guy, there's a lot that I relied on for Keith to really teach me about how municipal operations worked here, help navigate the system when community concerns came in. And what I would say is for all, Keith, that you bring in technical knowledge and experience, I think what most I admire about you is really your heart and caring about the families that reached out and needed help, and know that a lot of that happens on weekends and birthdays and special events, and you don't do it for 35 years in this work unless you genuinely care. And I wish you exactly what you deserve, which is a happy and healthy retirement. So salute to you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get on to business, because I know I got a lot of people that want to ask Keith questions. We got that set up. Holly, let's go.
Okay. We have the following reports. I have a little bit of a typo on here. It's municipal court, tax collector, CFO, and treasurer. I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. I have the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1688, amending the Borough of Collingswood redevelopment plan for the property located at 641 Haddon.
So this is the parking lot next to Groove Ground. There's going to be a little restaurant going in the building in the back. This is the zoning, some zoning changes there, but they're not quite complete. They're not finished. So I make a motion that we table the public hearing and the second reading to our October meeting. Okay.
Second.
Okay. Hal, do you want to pause?
Mayor Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewandowski.
Motion to table, yes.
Okay. I have the second reading and public hearing of salary ordinance 1689.
So this is changing ranges for I think 3 or 4 different positions, really all kind of a reshuffling of the deck with Cassandra moving into the administrator position. These are a few people that are now going to be, we've kind of recast some of the responsibilities. This is changing those ranges for those employees. The new people, the new folks have already started. This is readjusting their salary ranges. Is there any member of the public that would like to be heard on this? Okay, seeing none. Hal?
Mayor Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewandowski.
Yes.
Okay, we have the first reading of ordinance 1691 appropriating $600,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the completion of construction of the emergency response building and related acquisition improvements in and for the Borough of Collingswood.
So this is taking money that's already within our budget, within our capital improvement fund, allocating it to the public safety building. The second reading will be at our October 5, and public hearing will be at our October 5 meeting. Hal?
Mayor Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewandowski.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I want to open it up for public comment only on those items that are on the rest of the agenda, on the resolutions. If anybody has any comment, let me know and we can talk about those. Okay, seeing none, Hal, let's go through that list.
Okay. Approving the salary resolution,
Yes.
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 appointing Jason Miller as zoning officer for the Borough of Collingswood,
Yes.
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 appointing members to the Police Advisory Board Executive Committee.
So Kevin, do you want to talk a little bit about this? This is the executive committee, kind of the precursor to, you know, full committee for some public activity, but go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So Mayor, Commissioners, and myself kind of vetted through the applications we've received and picked 8 people we feel are a diverse group to represent an executive committee, to then vet the remaining applications to fill out the rest of the committee. So we're going to sit down as the executive committee, go through those other applications and come up with some of the rules and governing body stuff, administrative type stuff for the committee itself.
And I'll just say, I want to thank everyone that applied. We had a great showing of people. The people that have been selected for the executive committee are a real mix. You know, a very diverse group of people that have background experience in different fields that relate to this. We have someone that's been recommended for the school participation and a little bit of everybody. So that committee will be getting underway. Rob, Joan, anything you want to add to this?
No, I think it's great to have this committee and hopefully involve even more people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ditto.
Okay. Then yes.
Yes.
Okay, approving the Connect 2020, a bicycle and pedestrian master plan for Collingswood and Haddon Township.
So this is the bike and pedestrian plan it was funded by the DVRPC. There's been meetings that have been going on. Rob, you've been taking part in that. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, you know, first of all, thank you to the scores and scores of families. We had little kids to senior citizens to business owners to just interested folks involved in the public participation. And it's so very important to putting together a pedestrian and bicycle master plan. One of the wouldn't surprise people, but one of the things that really came out of it, just in the general sense, is that we should do things to improve our infrastructure for bicycles and pedestrians. And so what we have out of this plan essentially is roadmaps, and some of it is very desirable and achievable. It could be anything from painting crosswalks and the like. And some of it will take some substantial investment and more community conversation around such things as where to put bike lanes. But really appreciate everyone that was involved. We were very grateful to have partners like Haddon Township and the DVRPC who funded this that funded this process and putting together this plan. And, you know, I think passing it is essentially, passing this resolution is a start to more progress in the future.
Okay. Yes.
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 Awarding a contract to Lexa Concrete for the New Jersey DOT Grant Avenue resurfacing project.
So Keith Hastings, I get to ask you, this is grant, this is the DOT funding. This is from Newton Creek. This is all the way, right? The 1/3.
Whitehurst, this is Whitehurst Pike to Champion Avenue.
Oh,
It's the
I'm
west
sorry,
side.
going the other way. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
thinking the wrong way. Okay. And it's the DOT funding. We get some money every year, and this is going to.
It's actually two we coupled together. Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Yes.
Street paving without us paying for it. Yes.
Awarding, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, awarding a contract to Concord Engineering Group Incorporated for the commissioning services for the public safety building.
So commissioning services are kind of like value engineering, really with respect to a lot of the mechanicals within the building. And that's what this is, just bringing on a company to kind of be a third watchdog to make sure that we get our best bang for the buck. Yes.
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 Awarding a contract, understate contract to AV Business Communications for the phone system at the public safety building.
Yes.
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 Authorizing change order number 3 to Epic Management.
This is largely to do with some of the debris that was found in the ground under the building that had to be removed. Yes.
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 Authorizing solicitation of proposals for installation of a solar panel system on the public safety building and entering into a power purchasing agreement.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and authorizing the payment of bills as presented by the treasurer.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Lewandowski.
Sure. First of all, it is what, September 8th, and Roberts Pool is still open and will be, weather permitting, for the rest of the month. And I really want to thank really the staff who worked very hard to marshal together the people that can sort of keep this open on weekdays from what, 3 to 7, Cass?
Yeah.
And then on the weekends. Usually that's not an easy thing to do because of people going back to school and other activities and the like. But we were able to do it, and especially given the start of the year, and especially given the pandemic, having it not just open, but open safely and where people can have fun, but also feel secure and safe has been very important. And I'm just so thankful to all our staff for everything they did. I just want to mention a couple events that are going to happen before our next meeting I think are worth mentioning. Love my Collingswood Book Festival, and thankfully I get to have a Collingswood Book Festival online this year. So that's going to be October 3rd. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can go to the book festival. They have a fantastic website to get more information. But what's going to be great is they'll have the readings and other activities on board. And thanks to all the book fair volunteers, the library board for putting this together. So that's October 3rd. The other thing is, if people aren't aware, Scottish Rite Auditorium has really sort of kicked into gear with a lot of neat activities going on, right? They have the Music Lounge series, which I guess the 11th and 12th of this week, they have live music. It's outside in front of the Scottish Rite Auditorium at the mansion. Bring your beach chair and a lot of social distancing and a lot of opportunities for a low cost. I think it's about $15 for most shows, for some great live music. There's a cash bar and great time had by all. So we've really, and as much as the inside of Scottish Rite Auditorium has been closed down, our staff, Mary Baldwin, has really been resourceful in finding ways to repurpose our assets in a way that can serve the community. So, and by the way, the week after that, if you like Mystery Science Theater, 3000 or whatever it's called, we're not doing that because there's probably some trademark issues, but we are doing Sci-Fi Theater 2020, the COVID edition. And that's happening the week after. I think it's the week of the 17th and 18th. So I just wanted to let you know about that. And I have down here a bullet for Keith, but I already said it. So Keith Hastings, thank you again.
Thank you.
Commissioner Leonard?
So I wasn't expecting to talk about Keith before, but I can't help myself because I like to say nice things about Keith because he has been so great and there for so long. And I remember when Keith changed from one side of Borough Hall to the other side of Borough Hall, and he entered his job as administrator with earthquakes and floods. And he ends his reign of that office and all he does with pandemics and lantern flies. So he has been able to really see the world in a very wide, challenging place, as opposed to what you would think normal small town things would be that an administrator would have to deal with and address and be at the edge of your seat. So thank you, Keith, for going through all of that with us and using this opportunity to be so nice to welcome Cass into her job there. And you've made that, I think, very smooth and nice for her. And I want to thank you for that as well.
Okay, thanks, Joan. Are you done? You good?
Oh, I forgot to say a green thing, thinking about Keith. So in the past week or two, we've been able to accomplish some of our Green Team, Green Festival initiatives that we really were not able to do due to the pandemic, but we accomplished very successfully with Public Works and Police's help and everyone's help. The electronics recycling, the paper shredding, we had a little in-service on wildlife habitat and rain garden. The bike share is doing the best they can. So using masks and social distancing and best practices, along with the farmers market and all of us trying to support our businesses, retail, restaurants, we threw in some green things that seem to be well received. If you think of things that you want to see that you haven't, and there's a way we can do that for you as a community, just let us know and we will. You can still acquire a composter and a rain barrel. So just wanted to also applaud that this borough will have solar panels in a borough building. And that's such a great step forward as well. So keep the faith and keep doing good work, although times are so challenging. Mayor?
Solar panels, we're gonna have a roof garden, right?
Green roof. Too.
Right, a green roof.
Green
Like,
roof,
it's just
yeah.
so many things. There's just so many things to say
Solar
that are,
panels,
that's
nothing.
going to be fantastic.
A couple things. I wanna echo what Rob had to say about everybody at the pool, staff, everyone, Keith, Steve DiOrio, everybody helped make that just happen. We were commenting on our little COVID discussions today that a few months ago, we just weren't so sure there was going to be a pool season, and we got it in, and we're actually able to extend it. We're really, really thankful. Everybody that worked at the pool did just a great job, and everyone that attended, all the membership, the people that came to the pool, really did a pretty good job. We had very isolated incidents or issues, and we really appreciate that. I wanted to I'm getting a lot of questions about Halloween. And I just want to let folks know just a couple preliminaries. We'll have some things coming out soon. It's not till the end of October, but I'm getting a lot of questions about it now. I can tell you a couple things. One is there will not be the usual Haddon Avenue, bedlam. That we're pretty much settled is not going to be able to happen in these days. But there are a number of other options. And a bunch of different programs that are being put together in ways that we're hoping that the whole month of October is going to be a big celebration of ghosts and ghouls and all things Halloween. So know that that's coming, okay? I also want to speak in advance a little bit about voting, okay? I'm also getting a lot of questions about voting. There will be mail-in ballots coming out to folks. I don't think, I had heard that the county was looking to put a box in Collingswood. Is that still in the works?
Yeah, they want to put them in each municipality, so we should be getting one.
Okay, so as soon as we find out, we will, on social media and every way we can, advertise it out. Obviously, you can mail your mail-in ballots back, but I know a lot of people are concerned about that, given all the the brouhaha about the Postal Service. So there already are locations where there's a box that is solely dedicated to the election. We'll expect to have one shortly in Collingswood. One will be in every town. You'll be able to vote that way. And my next to last is really it just so happens that this month is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And I never announce this stuff or do these things, but I just wanted to urge everybody, every male of a certain age, to get an exam, to get your blood test, get your regular physical, and to share with everybody a little personal news. I've on top of everything else with this pandemic, and just to make 2020 the year that I'll never forget, I had a cancer diagnosis earlier this summer, prostate cancer. I'm a few weeks out of surgery. Things look okay. We've got a few more follow-ups to do, but things look good. I want to thank people for their support. A lot of folks were aware, and I got a lot of great messages, and I appreciate it all. And not that there's any linkage to this Hastings, okay? But the last thing I want to talk about is Keith Hastings. Keith, since the day I came on board, before I was ever elected, I was doing different work with the borough, working on committees, working on a Haddon Avenue revitalization committee. Got to meet Keith through the Democratic Club back in the day when Bud Law and Mike Brennan were on the commission, and really a different day. And ever since then, he's been a good friend. He has been a vital part of everything that's going on in this borough. We wish him the best. We thank him for his service. We look forward to seeing him come out and help at all the other events. He won't have to supervise, and he won't be obliged to be there, but I know he'll still be there. So we hope you and Barbara and Kara enjoy yourselves, have a great time with this retirement. We'll be doing some more, celebratory things in a month or so. Today's his last day in work. His official date is the beginning of October, but we wish you the best, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to open it. Hastings, anything you want to say before I open up to the public?
Well, yeah, I would like to take the opportunity to thank this administration and the previous ones, and also all the great co-workers that I've had of 35 years and everything like that. A lot of great accomplishments, and it's been a great ride. Also, thank you to my family, and Collingswood holds a special place in my heart, in our hearts, and we'll be there to visit and volunteer and do whatever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I
Pete.
want my League of Municipalities mayor badge back, because
Now, one more year, I think.
Hastings has been at too many bars where he's told people he's me, and late at night they believe him. Okay, I'm gonna open it up to the public. Anyone that would like to bring anything before the commission? Okay, Wayne. Oh, why is that saying that? Okay, it's not setting me up that I can allow him to talk. Now, what is that about? Okay, Wayne, if you guys would just bear with me for 1 second. I think I've got to change a meeting session.
Jim, I am duly
Are
logged
you in there?
I have an allow to talk button. Oh, you got it?
And you haven't allowed to talk? That's
You want
why
me to give it a-
you're in there
It's you.
as the host. So
All right, I'm
do you
gonna-
see them? Do you see?
I'm gonna give
You
Wayne
can
a
see
go here.
participants? Okay, and you can allow them to talk?
Yep.
Is there
Okay.
anyone on staff who doesn't
Good.
try to be manly? Is that what we're learning?
You could have had it.
You there, Wayne?
Wayne? Looks like you could speak.
To make sure he's not muted.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Okay, Cassandra, do you want to try? Did you see other people have their hands raised?
Oh, Wayne is writing to you. He's saying muted and then unmuted. He's writing to the panelists. At first it said muted, then it said unmuted. So he's trying.
Okay.
You there, Wayne? I show you as unmuted.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you want to test someone else out and just
Try
see
somebody else,
if-
Cassandra,
if-
just
see if it's our whole system or if maybe we're
Sure.
running into
And
something else?
I'm gonna give Ann Carroll a go here.
Okay.
Oh, she's shown as muted now.
I think she's writing
Okay,
to you.
but that's okay. She can unmute herself.
She's good now.
I think I did. Did I? Can you hear-
Yes,
We got you,
there
Ann.
you are.
Okay. Another Collingswood resident, Rochelle Brisson, and I submitted a couple of resolutions to Holly last Friday, I think. And I'm not sure if she has had a chance to put them on the agenda or not. But what they're about is becoming green. Collingswood becoming more green and helping the whole state of New Jersey to do that. And one of them has to do with the Camden incinerator, actually. And the other one has to do with transporting liquid natural gas through our towns down to a proposed exporting port at Gibbstown, New Jersey. And we are hoping that Collingswood will review these and hopefully come out against both of them. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the resolution.
We have, Holly flipped them out to us. I think she got them Friday afternoon.
Okay.
And she flipped them out to us.
Oh, good.
They're not on the agenda for
they're not.
tonight. No. Rob, do you anything you want to say?
Yeah, no, I saw them for the first time today. I know a little bit about the incinerator. I'll just talk personally. I think it was a terrible idea to put an incinerator in an area like Camden. I think there are environmental justice issues with having an incinerator there. I do think, I do know that there's some, on a sort of another topic, but related topic, I know there is some legislation that may be moving in New Jersey that has to do with strengthening environmental protection in low-income communities, especially those with large minority populations. I think it's S232 and A2212. And I think one of those things that I'm keeping an eye at and communicating on is that those things should be passed, because essentially they established not just, now we sort of do things on the discharge regs, right? These federal regulations, state regulations on it, but this would also force anytime, sewage authorities, incinerators to also do some planning and reports on the effect on the environment and the public health in the community. Regarding I'm just going to talk about me here, regarding the idea of doing these resolutions. Look, I know this is going on. I'm familiar with it. Talking actually at the Heart, who officially weighed in one way or the other. Heart of Camden, for those that don't know, is a community organization in South Camden where the incinerator exists. I certainly wouldn't want to get ahead of the community itself in Camden on this. I'd say the other thing is and I say this with all sincerity, and say it irrespective of what the topic is. It's really difficult for municipalities to dig in and just weigh in things in other towns and things that are going on in other places. And I'll just give you the example of the second resolution. You know, it had, you know, all these footnotes and a million different things. And I said, my gosh, it'll take me, you know, I can't just pass this. I can't just put it on and pass it. I have to know it. And to know it means I have to sort of put in the time and the energy and the resources, not just of me, but of the entire town and those things. And it's really difficult because it could be that. And then tomorrow it could be someone who says, wait, why didn't you weigh in on Second Amendment rights? And then the next day it's going to be someone there. And I think it's really important that municipalities stick to municipality work, because I have 14,000 people here who are in need of services, are in need of effective and efficient services, that we use money wisely. And I think sometimes going far afield to say, let's tell Gibbsboro what to do is difficult, because I certainly want Gibbsboro telling us what to do, or Gibbsboro or Greenwich or whichever it was. So I just want to sort of add that stuff. Like I said, environmental justice, like, it's just terrible that an incinerator went into Camden. But, you know, I also know that there are folks in Camden that are working on this, and I certainly, you know, don't want to get ahead of anyone else. So that's all I have to say.
May I respond?
Commissioner, well, could we just can I let the rest of the commissioners say what they'd like to say? Okay. Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you, Ann, for bringing it up.
Commissioner Leonard, anything, have you had a chance to look at this, look at these all?
I've looked at it for 5 minutes, so I'm not qualified to say anything about it, but I'm very familiar with the incinerator, so I will put some time into reading that, and I appreciate what Rob had to say. It was very thorough, but I'll get back to you all on that after I read more.
And Joan, you were involved in fighting the incinerator before there was an incinerator. Before there was, look, you were very young at the time, but you know.
So young, but, and we had a huge group of people from the area trying to stop it. I have been reminded that we did win in a small way, because we stopped one from going into Pensauken, because we were such a pain in the neck trying to stop it in Camden. But, and we didn't win in Camden. And yes, there's more asthma. Yes, there's more air pollution. I can't stand that it's there. So I will gladly read information about it. And I wish we would continue to do what is right for social justice, to stop anything with pollution and odors and noise in all of our areas, but especially urban and poor areas where they need not to be pushed down further, but to be helped up. And so, and those of us who live right here in Collingswood, it is really our neighborhood too. So I'm very concerned about everything to do with that. And maybe next month I can speak more about the specifics of it.
I just have two things to say on it. One is with respect to the LNG and Gibbstown, it's Greenwich Township. I represent them. I represent the township. My office does. So I've been working on this for some time now. So I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to have anything to say about it because it's just a conflict for me, because I represent the town. And the other is with respect to the microgrid at the incinerator. Echoing a little bit of what Rob is saying, I'm not. I know there's a lot of people at governmental levels, the county, the city, that have been working very hard on this whole microgrid issue. I have not. I've read a couple articles about it. I think somebody raised it with us before. I read a couple articles about it, I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of weighing in on what another governmental entity should do on an issue that is their responsibility. It's just not. I just don't think it's our place. There's just no. There's no reason. We're up to our eyeballs trying to run a town, and I don't know enough about the whole microgrid issue to go weigh in on whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And go ahead.
I was just going to add that you know, a resolution from us has no full force of law in any way, but so we should be clear about that. But we can you know, but when we do it, we do bring in the resources of the town, that Holly has to get involved, that lawyers have to get involved. And there are a million good things that could be worked on, you know, on a million different things. But, you know, one of the tough things in local government is sometimes you do have to say no, because there really are just the limited resources. And there's other ways to get involved. As individuals, we can get involved, but to put Collingswood behind it, it's a difficult one. And it opens up the can of worms that we have everyone and their uncle and aunt asking for resolutions on this, that, or the other thing. So I just wanted to say that. That's me personally.
Sure. Go ahead, Ann.
Okay.
Please do.
Thank
Please,
you, guys.
please.
Thank you, Mayor and Joan. And I've heard a lot about your opposition to the incinerator. Thank you so much for that.
I tried, Ann.
And I understand what you're saying, Rob. However, if we're going to make any progress in our state and in our country to go onto clean energy, we really do have to push from the local municipal level. I think Collingswood, one of the best things about it is so green, and that is why I loved it when I moved here. And I want us to keep fighting for clean energy. And if we get enough small communities like us who ask for this, well, maybe somebody's going to listen to us. If we don't throw our hat into the ring, so to speak, you know, people are just going to blow us off. So please reconsider. I think it's something Collingswood, it would fit right into what we've been doing all along. Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's good, Ann.
Thanks, Ann. I just want to say is, and I think we're on the same side. I just think we disagree on tactics, and we can talk about that. And I'd love to talk to you about it.
It's a process. It's a process. We'll see what happens next.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
Thanks, Ann. So Wayne, we'll give you another shot. It looks like you're unmuted to me. Wayne? No. Okay.
You know, he was able to type in the chat. Wayne, if you have a specific question, maybe you can type it in for us and we can address you through the chat and maybe at least speak to whatever your issue is.
So while we're doing that, Kate Delaney's next on my list. Cassandra, can you?
Yes, I can. Come on down, Kate.
Hi all.
There you go, Kate. Yep.
Hi, Kate.
Just a name and address for Holly, okay?
Yeah, Kate Delaney, 126 East Palmer.
Thank you.
And actually, Wayne and I were going to be talking about similar things, so maybe you'll get a chance to also hear from Wayne if you can figure out how to unmute him. Several of us wanted to talk about the status of the CCA ordinance. So between last meeting and this meeting, it has come to our attention that due to WASH Act requirements that a vote needs to happen before September 14th, or else it goes to ballot. At the last meeting, you signaled that you were in support of voting it in, which we're really grateful for and really excited about. So we wanted to ask that you schedule a special meeting in order to make this official. There's obviously lots of public support. We got signatures of people that are excited about this idea, so we don't want it to go to ballot because we feel that it would just be confusing. It would be a moot point if you guys are already going to vote it in. So we were hoping that you would schedule a special meeting to make this official.
Okay, we're aware of this issue. We frankly are scratching our heads about what the issue is. When the petition was submitted to us, there was not the time to get it on a November ballot. I think Holly rushed to get to do the certification so that we could introduce it when we did, okay? The deadline for getting on a November ballot was like at the end of August, okay? So where we are today is if we don't adopt this ordinance like we have said we're going to do, it's going to go on a May ballot. That's the next ballot it's going to go on. So we have told you, and I know we don't agree on things all the time, but we have told everyone. I don't think we've ever said things that we didn't do, but it's been introduced. It's going to get adopted at the beginning of October. That will eliminate the need for it to be on a ballot in May. We are not inclined to do a special meeting. As Rob, we just went through, like, it is like not such an easy thing to just do a special meeting. We don't think there's a reason to do it, because we don't like doing specials, especially when we're doing ordinances. We try to do them on regularly scheduled meetings, so it's not out of the ordinary, so everybody gets a chance to participate. We did our budget at a special, doing all kinds of advance notice about it. There, it was a governmental reason we had to do it, which was, if we waited, we were going to lose time for getting tax bills together and get them out. And we were worried about being able to literally make ends meet, make payrolls and things for the end of the year. We've tried not to borrow. So I understand the lawyer in Washington was weighing in about, like, this had to be done. If we stick to the schedule we have in October, the ordinance is adopted. Frankly, the ordinance was adopted in February without goal dates in it. So all we're doing is adding some goal dates in it. It's going to be effective. It's going to happen. It's going to be the same timeline anybody's going to know for having on a May ballot. So
and I just
that's where we are. Rob, go ahead.
If I could just add, I think the reason why you want a first reading and second reading, just like you want for every other ordinance, is that, we're not pushing one in without giving residents and the community proper notice, right? That's why ordinances have 2 readings. And so our take on doing this was to introduce it, make it aware, people then can, at the second reading, can weigh in. So, it's a process that's there to be democratically responsible. And the good thing is come October, we're gonna pass this thing, and that's a good thing.
Okay, that's where we are with it.
Can I just follow up with one request then, or one idea for you to consider? So if you don't want to schedule a special meeting, we were hoping that you would put out maybe a press release or public statement of your intention to pass the program and to commit to 100% renewable energy by 2030.
Well, I don't think that's
all
what the
here.
ordinance does.
It's all here,
But
though.
It's on recorded Zooms, Kate. That's what we've been saying. Okay, all these things are recorded. It's all, we said it publicly. Like, I don't pinky swear on Zoom. Like, I don't know what else you want us to do. And listen, if we don't do it, I got that in the letter. The water folks sent a letter today. If we don't do this, as we have said, file the petition. It's already filed, but you can file the petition again. It's on the ballot in May. This doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. So we're going to adopt it, okay?
Great, glad to hear that. I just wanted to also echo just really quickly what Ann said about the importance of the microgrid, the resolution opposing the Cavanta microgrid and the LNG terminal. There have been communities that have adopted these resolutions. It seems that Runnymede is going to be adopting the resolution opposing the LNG terminal. So that idea that, other communities shouldn't weigh in what's happening other places. Also, the route for the LNG terminal is really close to Collingswood. So this is one that could very definitely impact us. And we have, according to recent reporting, we have an F quality for air in Camden County, and a big part of that is because of the Cavanta incinerator, and that, we're downwind of Camden City, so it does impact us. And
you're right.
I'm sorry, Jen.
You're right, Kate. Thank you.
And I hear Rob's point that there are community members in Camden City that are on board with the microgrid, but that is not every group. I'm working closely with Camden NAACP, and they are opposed to this plan. And while that legislation that Rob mentioned is exciting and can address environmental justice, I would support Ann's remarks about needing to have kind of, local grassroots support for change that we need to have in our communities.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
Cassandra, who are you trying?
Let's, Jen Rossi, we're gonna give you the mic. Go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
We got
Great.
you.
Thank you. Jen
Why
Rossi.
can't we hear Wayne?
What happened to Wayne?
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't see him
Sure.
right now. Jen Rossi at 114 East Palmer Avenue. I have just a comment and a question. Comment is that the Collingswood Educational Advocacy Group, just for community knowledge, will be hosting an online Board of Education community forum. So that way you can ask your questions before voting for your Board of Education members. And that will be on September 15th. You can go to our website, which is collingswoodeducation.org, to put your questions in and to also be able to get to the link so you can register if you'd like to attend. The second part of my comment this evening is a question in regards to the Police Chief Advisory Committee. What kind of timeline can we expect to start seeing activity from the committee and maybe announcement for when, who made it to the executive board type positions?
So the resolution that we adopted tonight actually appoints an executive committee. So those names are out. Those names are there. It was posted. Oh, I guess it just got posted today. Those names are up today. Kevin, do you want to talk about, like, do you have any, I presume the first step would be we'll have these folks meet and hopefully lay out a schedule.
I made contact with the executive board members today. We're going to be looking to meet either later this week or next week and formulate the plan moving forward from there. So I would expect to see something more in the next 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Can I jump in, because it's sort of related, Jen?
Yeah,
to
go
what
ahead. You want to talk about the conversations?
It's a little bit of overlap, but the borough working with the nonprofit Custom Ed, Collingswood-based Custom Ed, have been really working on putting together what we're calling Collingswood Conversations. And those are really conversations around race, racism, inclusion. Starting probably, it looks like we're starting September 15th. We're going to be putting out an online survey to gauge people's opinion and their experiences with race, with racism, and their attitudes, and about our community. And so that's going to start sort of concurrently with some overlap of activity. September 15th, going to run for a couple of weeks. We're looking to find ways to perhaps have a non-online version as well for those that are not so technically inclined. And that's going to sort of build then towards literally an online community conversation that Custom Ed is helping to put together and facilitate with our help, really to sort of dig in deeper and to have people, not just us talking to you or not just you talking to us, but all of us talking to each other. So I just wanted to point that, I forgot to mention it before, and that's going to start. The Collingswood Conversations, the survey will be starting in a week.
Oh, and is that including the group Embracing Race, who have been meeting for, I think, over a year in Collingswood?
Well, I certainly hope. I had the opportunity to, through Marianne Degenhart, to sit on some of the meetings, and it's really a fantastic group. And it's not just a Collingswood group; there's people from all over South Jersey, and I certainly would hope that they will play an active role in it. We're not. There are so many people and so many groups doing stuff. We have people that are involved with the American Friends Service Committee. We have folks there. So the idea is we hope that people from every walk of life will really participate and play a role in this. And we're looking at this not just as the start of a one-off, but truly something that we can use for sort of re-examining how we look at what we do through the lens of race and racism, among other things. So I certainly would hope they would be involved. It seems like a great group.
Thank you for your time. And
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith, for your service to the community.
Thanks, Jen. That's nice. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Okay, Hastings, again, thank you. Congratulations. Sleep in tomorrow. And we will all catch up to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
man. Okay,
everybody.
we are adjourned.
Stay safe.
Yes.